Hello, and welcome to Once More, a podcast where two best pals rewatch, re-examine, and review our favorite movies, shows, streaming series. I'm Ryan something.
And I'm Jen Katz.
Hi, Jenny.
Hi, Ryan. Have you chopped up any bodies to make your dream partner lately?
Who have you talked to? No, I've not.
It's good to hear.
This episode took me back to the movie Weird Science, the 80s film Weird
Kelly
Science.
LeBrock.
Where they create this, perfect version of a woman so they can date and like hang out and be cool kids.
Yes, isn't Anthony
Hall, I think, is in it. No,
Anthony Michael Hall.
To the Click-Clacks.
To the Click-Clacks. But it's the kid he plays like the nerd in all the 80s movies. I think it's Anthony Michael Hall. Yeah, Kelly LeBrock was a babe. She's got that off the shoulder gray sweatshirt.
Oh,
that movie is problematic as fuck though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was Anthony Michael Hall.
Ding.
And Kelly LeBrock. Listen.
Kelly LeBrock. Hot.
She was great in this film.
Yeah. That will not be on the rewatch list.
This movie is unhinged. That's right. You know who else is in this film?
Who? Kiefer Sutherland.
Bill Paxton.
That's right. Yeah. This episode of Buffy could be called Weird Science.
Bill Paxton plays Chet, the older brother.
Chet's probably hanging out with Daryl.
Yes, they were both at the Capitol on January 6th.
We need like a Capitol button. Like I don't know.
A Save Democracy button.
Make America Great Again button. I don't even want that near me.
Okay.
Anyway.
Welcome to Once More. This episode of Season 2 Buffy the Vampire Slayer aired on the WB on September 22nd, 1997.
Woo!
It was written by staff writer Ty King and directed by Bruce Seth Green, who we've seen direct other episodes.
Yes, we'll see him a few times. Bruce.
What's Bruce's story? Do we know his background?
I don't know anything about Bruce Seth Green, to be honest.
Has he come forward with anything about Joss?
No. I believe the only, and again, people might be yelling at their phones, hold on, or whatever screen they use to watch us on YouTube. Reminder, we are now on YouTube at Once More Podcast. And Marty Noxon, who works on Buffy at this time, I believe, I'm not sure, I need to double check when she comes on, but she basically becomes co-showrunner with Joss Whedon for season 6 and 7.
Okay.
And she is oftentimes blamed for season 6's problems. I don't always agree with the criticisms of season 6. We'll get there when we get there. I mean, her Twitter bio was basically, hi, I'm Marty Noxon. I ruined Buffy and I'll ruin you too.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, people came after her hard. But when all these allegations came out against Joss, she made a public statement that she stands in support of the victims of his abuse.
Wow. Okay.
I do not believe anyone else has come out on the staff.
Remind me her role again on staff.
She was a writer.
And
then she became basically co-showrunner because by the time season 6 of Buffy was going on, Joss Whedon had Angel the series, he had Firefly.
Okay.
He was spread pretty thin. So
this is later in the series then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm not sure as of season 2 if she's writing or if she's a part of it, but she definitely is in season 3.
We'll have to keep an eye out for her.
Oh, she's written some of my favorite episodes of Buffy. So
very interesting.
Exciting.
Well.
Yes. So what does Google say about some assembly required?
Okay. According to Google, in Some Assembly Required, 2 science nerds reanimate a dead classmate and use stolen body parts to create the, quote, perfect girlfriend for him. Meanwhile...
Doesn't say who the him is, Google.
Right. Meanwhile, Buffy deals with the emotional fallout of her kiss with Xander and Giles and Miss Calendar... Meanwhile, Buffy deals with the emotional fallout of her kiss with Xander and Giles and Miss Calendar start a romance. Point of order, it wasn't a kiss.
2 points of order.
It was a tease.
It was a dance. It was a slinky, sexy dance.
Slinky. I love how you call it slinky.
Because she was very Okay, we're here. Yeah, like you said, she doesn't kiss Xander. And then the synopsis always cracked me up because they don't even say who they're trying to animate the body for. And yeah, Giles and Miss Calendar do start a romance. That's the only factual statement, I believe. But anyway.
They do.
We'll get to that. So we open this episode with Giles as the voice of In Every Generation.
Yes.
There's one girl in all the world. She is the Slayer. I still don't know it.
Giles is reading the cold open.
He is. And it's much better than the guy from the first season who was like, in a world, there's a Slayer.
Yeah. That dude was totally doing film trailers.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Get your back.
Good for him. I hope he made his money.
I would really like Anthony Stewart Head's voice as Giles is so soothing. If you're listening, Tony, I think you should
come on the podcast.
First, come on the podcast. And 2, I think you should go. He should totally read Sleep Stories on the Calm app. I love the Calm app. I listened to a sleep story the night before last. That was great. Read by Regé-Jean Page, who played the Duke Simon in the first season of Bridgerton. Yeah, it's great. So we begin in a graveyard, much like we always do in the show.
Yes.
And Buffy's playing with a yo-yo. It's fine.
Buffy is a yo-yo.
Buffy is a yo-yo. And Angel shows up and they're kind of fighting. She's waiting on a vamp to rise.
It's the Jane Austen scene again.
It's Heathcliff on the moors. Yeah. They're waiting for this vamp to rise. And we talk a little bit about siring. And, Angel mentions that it's kind of a weird thing to go through. And Buffy, I think it hits her. Like, Angel's not just this hot college age looking guy. He's who was turned and buried and this whole thing. So I did like that. But they're going back and forth about the slinky sexy dance with Xander.
Yeah, so I guess they haven't seen each other since the dance.
I guess so.
Angel shows up and he's brooding as he does. And he's asking her, he's like, so you're here by yourself? You're not here with anyone else? She's like, no, who would I be here with?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, Xander? She's like,
she goes, why are you jealous? And he goes, he's just a kid. So is she, sir.
It's like, why would I be jealous of a 16-year-old? And it's like, sir, you're 240 something years old. But he's clearly jealous.
Yeah.
He's
clearly jealous. And she's like, come on, it was one dance. And I did it to make you crazy. And look, it worked.
I love his response, which was, she's like, what? It was just a dance. I just danced with him. He's like, made it with him would be a little closer to
Ooh, yeah. I mean, look. Like
that's the way he saw it. That's the way we all saw it.
Sexy, slinky dance.
The way Xander saw it.
Had a scuttlebutt off the dance floor after that one. So
she ran out the alley and got.
Man, Xander had a scuttlebutt.
Oh, yeah. That's why he got that new bag.
That's the messenger bag. It's his boner cover bag.
He bought a boner cover bag. He's got this great messenger bag in this episode. And
it's a leather. And that looks like real leather.
It's a nice bag. It's a great bag. It's very metrosexual. Now we know why he's got it instead of the backpack.
I always wanted a bag like that because that was such a thing in the late 90s, early 2000s.
I had one. J. Crew.
Of course you did.
Canvas and leather. It's fucking great. I still have it.
Do you?
It's timeless.
Okay. So in the middle of their fight, a vampire shows up behind Buffy. The Angel doesn't warn her about, just
rising up from the grave, coming behind her.
Too busy fighting about Xander. And then Buffy stakes him with a shovel, which we need a point of order button.
Okay.
The shovel does not have a pointed end. It's a rounded wooden end.
According to the show transcript.
Okay.
The shovel handle was snapped in two during the tussle.
It doesn't make that super clear, does it?
Doesn't make it super clear. I think that there was an editing issue that they had, but it snaps and she uses the shovel to impale him.
She dusts the vamp with the broken
dusted
end of the shovel, which we don't see. Her and Angel just pick right back up with their fight. And they start to walk off. He starts to walk off. She falls into an open grave, falls into a casket.
Yeah.
And they think it's a vampire, but when Buffy looks around, she realizes it's a body that's been dragged.
Yeah.
And she finds a shoe and like, okay, something's up.
A corpse has come out of the grave,
yes.
But it's not a vampire.
It's not a vampire. And Buffy's outfit here, you immediately were like, hey.
That was it. From the get-go, I was like, okay, this is my fashion slave for the episode.
Yeah, she looks no notes.
No notes.
She's wearing shoes she probably got in LA.
Yeah, from Hank.
So you said it was pink. I couldn't tell if it was white or pink. Her dress.
I think it's a light pink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe a dress or a skirt shirt set and that leather jacket.
Yeah, and leather jacket's all she needs.
She
looks great. She's got her hair up. She's ready to go. She kicks this. It's some sort of a skirt or dress. It's kind of a shorter. She's literally fighting and like kicking the vampire in this outfit. And I'm like, just nail it, Buffy.
Get it, sister.
Get it.
Yeah.
And she does.
So we cut to the library.
Love this.
Where we see Giles talking to himself and
hey, Jenny.
Hey, Ryan.
I know it's a little early in the episode.
Oh.
But this scene might be a great candidate for Vampire Black Box Theater.
I like where your head's at.
Let's give it a whirl.
Let's do it. On today's episode of Vampire Black Box Theater, the roles of Rupert Giles and Xander Harris will be played by Ryan Something. The role of Buffy Summers will be played by me, Jen Katz. Scene: Giles is sitting in a chair in the library with his back towards the door as Buffy and Xander walk in.
What I'm proposing is I don't mean to appear indecorous. Is a social engagement, a date if you're amenable. You idiot.
Boy, I guess we never realized how much you like that chair.
I was just working on
your pickup lines.
In a manner of speaking, yes.
Then if you wouldn't mind a little Gene and Roger, you might want to leave off the idiot part. Being called an idiot tends to take people out of the dating mood.
That actually kind of turns me on.
I fear you. You also might want to avoid words like amenable and indecorous, Speak English, not whatever they speak in
England?
Yeah. You could just say, hey, I got a thing. You maybe have a thing. Maybe we could have a thing.
Thank you, Serena.
I'm not finished. Then you say, how do you feel about Mexican?
About Mexicans?
Mexican. Food. You take her for food for which you then pay.
Right. So this chairwoman, we are talking to Miss Calendar, right? What makes you think that? Simple deduction. Miss Calendar is reasonably dulcet, especially for someone in your age bracket. She already knows that you're a school librarian, so you don't have to worry about how to break that embarrassing news to her.
And she's the only woman we've actually ever seen speak to you. Add it all up and it all spells duh.
Now, is it time to talk about the facts of life? I suddenly deciding this is none of your business. Because the whole stork thing is a smokescreen.
Scene. So Giles is practicing asking Jenny on a date. Jenny Calendar.
It's very cute. It's
so
super endearing.
Cute.
Of him. It's
so cute. And then they're trying to figure out who could have been taken from that grave.
Mm-hmm.
And they figure out it's a girl called Meredith Todd, who is their age and recently died. Shocking. Some teenager died in Sunnydale, California?
Yeah.
You don't say.
Hey.
Buffy's
got some good advice for Giles, though.
She does. And
take her out for Mexican food.
Now I want Mexican food.
Great. See you. Bye.
The podcast is over. So.
Agreed. The dating details between Giles and Mrs. C is Jenny C is none of their business.
None of their goddamn business. I forgot something. What did I forget about this scene?
This is a click-clack scene.
Come on, what does he say?
Giles asks Buffy and Xander if they will ask Willow to, quote, fire this thing up, pointing to the giant computer on the desk to track Meredith down.
Yep.
To the click-clacks. I love it. They call upon Willow.
I love it. She's the techno nerd here. They need her. And now we cut to the hallway. I don't really want to talk about this creepy fucking kid.
Here we go to the hallway. This creepy fucking dude with a camera.
He looks so gross. He's taking pictures and making really misogynistic comments about women.
I didn't know that anyone could trump Xander on this show. Jenny's had a stroke.
Gotta go.
We're going to pause.
I'm going to go get Mexican food. Okay.
She's going to get Mexican food.
Yeah. So sorry. Yes. So.
Just me, you, and my thighs, ladies and gentlemen.
Fuck, we're already at 33 minutes.
Okay, we're gonna.
So yes, this kid is taking pictures of Willow while she's trying to sign up for this science project.
He's taking pictures of everyone.
And he's being so gross. He's so gross. And Buffy comes up and tells Willow, which I thought was funny, hey, it's the bat signal. Like, come on. We see our girl Cordelia Chase. Look, This is my fashion sleigh.
Loved it.
Which we'll get into that later, but she's got a halter dress with this cool print. She just looks stunning.
She's rocking it.
Stunning. Willow also looks super cute.
Willow looks cute in her button-up shirt.
Yes. And Willow's talking to someone we'll learn is Chris, who's super smart like her.
Mm-hmm.
And after Willow walks away with Buffy, creepy kid Eric, who's taking the pictures, comes up to Chris and is like taking pictures of Cordelia and says, she's perfect. And Chris says, don't be silly. She's alive. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun.
note, he also takes a picture of Buffy.
He does, yeah.
And after the Buffy and Cordelia and Willow leave, he starts following another gal to take her picture. So he's taking pictures of all the girls. We don't know really what's going on. It's just very creepy.
Yes.
I do like that we are getting glimpses of Cordelia being part of the gang.
Yes, she's going to be a Scooby. I love it.
She's joining the gang here. It's
she
not
is.
made official, but here she is. They're having the conversation, and she joins them in the library later.
She does.
Excuse me. Joins them in the library later.
She does join them in the library. And again, we cut to the library, and it's Willow, our girl, doing what she does best.
Click wagon.
Ow. And she discovers that Meredith Todd died in a car accident. And while they're talking, Cordelia, as you mentioned, is in the library with them now. And she's, she comes in asking for help with the science project. And she mentions a guy named Daryl. Like, this reminds me too much of Daryl. I'm like, who's Daryl?
I missed that.
And she makes the statement, can we deal with my pain, please? And Giles gives her a pat and says, there.
So great.
So funny. We discover some important information about Sunnydale, California. There's another high school in Sunnydale. Meredith went to Fondren High School. She was on the pep squad at Fondren High. I thought this was a one Starbucks town, people.
This must be like the private school. It's got to be.
Maybe. And it basically confirms that her corpse was dug up. Like, she doesn't become a vampire because she died, I think, like a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
So if she was a vampire, she would have already risen.
Okay.
And I love that Cordelia is like, why the fuck is it that you people have a conversation and corpses are always mentioned? What's going on?
Yeah. Again, she's like, can we focus on me, please?
Yeah. And then they kind of discuss that maybe it's zombies.
Yeah.
Point of order. Buffy said, or who is it? Xander is like, are they going to feast on flesh of the wait, somebody mentions they're going to eat the flesh of the living. And then Xander or Giles says, don't be silly. Zombies don't eat the flesh of the living.
Yeah.
Okay. Zombies not my favorite genre, but most of the zombie things I've seen, they bite alive people, and then usually the live people turn or they just die from their wounds.
Zombies don't do it for me at all.
No.
There's a few movies that I've seen. What is it? What's the big one that everyone loves? It's like the zombie series.
The one that came out last year? The Last of Us.
No, The Last of Us is good.
That's the only kind of zombie thing I get into.
What's the one where it's like the
Walking Dead?
The lab breaks down and like you gotta go.
Oh,
you gotta go in there.
Is
and
it
there's
28 Days Later?
No, but it's anyway. All of those zombie genres, I'm just
not for me.
I'm kind of out on it. Zombies don't really scare me.
They don't. I don't like that. I liked The Last of Us. That's the zombie show that I really liked because it's more about the people who were still there,
right? Still alive.
Yeah. So we might be dealing with a zombie, folks. That's why we put zombies on our whiteboard instead of some assembly required.
Buffy in here is talking about Angel. She's like, Angel and I have been. Oh, never mind. She's playing it like so coy. It's like she wants to talk about it, but she doesn't want to talk about it. Just move on.
Jane Austen over here.
Jane Austen. Who wrote this episode?
Oh, that's right. Because they decide that they're going to go dig up the bodies of the other two girls in the car crash with Meredith.
Their plan is to students
and an adult.
And an adult faculty member is to meet at the graveyard.
It's fine.
Dig out a grave and just kind of check on things.
Sure.
Okay.
And they're going to bring snacks.
They do bring snacks. They bring powdered donuts.
They bring powdered donuts, which also sound good right now. And Willow, like you said, Willow and Buffy are talking about Angel, and she's like, am I ever going to live the sexy dance down? And Willow's like, no, you're not.
No.
They're not going to let Buffy live the sexy slinky dance down, but Xander gets away with sexual assault. That's fine.
It's 2024. We're still not letting her live that dance down.
Stupid.
Or letting Xander get away with his assault.
Not on our watch.
Nope.
And I do like this line. Giles and Xander are digging the grave. Buffy and Willow are sitting eating powdered donuts, chit-chatting. And like, hey, a little help here. And Buffy says, sorry, I'm an old-fashioned gal. I was raised to believe men dig up the corpses and the women have babies. And I'm like,
done.
Give them the business, sister.
Give her a bumper sticker.
Yeah, but they basically determine that, well, we don't see. Yeah. We don't see if the corpses are in there or not.
Well, yes, we do. So Xander and Giles, who look great digging this grave, by the way.
They do.
And I was going to point this out in the library. Xander's outfit, spot on. Nice blue shirt. Giles looks great in his tweed suit.
Mm-hmm.
nice matching tie.
Mm-hmm.
They look good in the grave. And then they do get to something.
Yes.
Like, oh, I think we found it. And we don't see it, but Buffy jumps into the grave. We see her jump into the grave.
And she opens the casket.
See from inside the casket looking back up at them. And then it cuts to the next scene. And we basically learn she wasn't there.
She wasn't there. But we also learn in the conversation with Buffy and Willow that Chris, who we met in the prior scene talking to Willow, had an older brother named Daryl, who Cordelia mentioned.
Okay.
And he died in a rock climbing accident a few years ago. I'm like, oh, must have been climbing the famous Sunnydale mountain range.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you?
Gotta have one.
Gotta have one. And after he died, it really affected Chris and his family. The mom apparently doesn't leave the house, and Chris has gotten really quiet. So that's just little information to keep in hand. And we cut to Cordelia in a parking lot after cheer practice. And she's like alone. We see footsteps. It's kind of creepy. She drops her keys underneath her car. She sees feet. She runs away. Someone's stalking her. And she says, Xander Harris, if this is some kind of joke. And I'm like, why did she assume it's Xander? There's some tension between those two. What? She jumps into the dumpster. She thinks it's all clear. She opens the dumpster and screams, but it's Angel.
It's Angel.
Wearing a goddamn beige with a white shirt. And this is my nay.
He's so chipper too. He's like, what you doing in there? You know,
do we get into this right now, you think? Okay. Fashion, slay, or nay? So we kind of mentioned what our slays are going to be, but you go first. What's your slay?
Okay, my first slay is Buffy's outfit in the opening.
Yeah.
Looks great. We've discussed it. We broke it down already.
Stunning.
Yes.
I really want to know your nays.
Giles' library outfit and also Xander's outfit while he and Giles are digging the grave and also in the library. So those outfits are my slays. That and of course Cordelia. She looks good in everything that she's wearing.
Mm-hmm.
My nay is the outfit that Angel has on in this scene.
Same.
It's the beige. Beige is not his color.
He looks black, so washed out.
It's just strange to see a vampire out of
black.
It's just not his color.
And I can't tell if he's washed out or they really caked on the vamp makeup, but he's just like, he looks beige. Yeah. It's not good. It's weird. And he looks good. Give him the white shirt with the black.
He looks like he's selling used cars like at the Sunnydale lot.
My God.
It's just no offense to used car sales.
Do you need a 1995 Honda Civic? Come on down to Angel's Autos.
He was really looking for Cordelia, like slap her car. Be like, you ready to trade this in?
Fashion, slay, or nay? Yeah, it's such a weird scene. And then
strange.
He's helping her out of the dumpster, but she finds a severed hand. Okay, so we've got mention of bodies being drug out of graves.
Bodies are missing.
We've got a severed hand.
Severed hands.
Something's weird. And the gang comes back to the library after their casual grave digging. And they see Cordelia and Angel there. And Buffy is pissed. And God, this is so great.
This is such a great scene. I forgot how the lines go, but it's fantastic.
Yeah, Angel and Xander acknowledge each other with a Angel.
Yeah.
Xander, Buffy, Cordelia.
It reminds me of Spies Like Us with Chevy Chase and Dan Aykroyd when they're in the hospital and they're impostering. They're playing to be doctors and doctor and doctor. So great.
They all kind of go back and forth, and
and that Cordelia's arm is tucked into Angel's arm. Yeah.
Like this, with Angel.
Arm in arm with Angel.
You know, Angel and Cordelia, I think,
make a good couple.
They look hot together.
I could believe that.
I could believe it. I co-sign Cordelia and Angel more so than I do Buffy and Angel.
Sure.
But we'll get into that.
Well, there's a whole lot less to worry about in that scenario well. But and I thought Buffy was going to lose her fucking shit, though.
She was not happy.
She walked in.
Yeah.
She didn't. She kind of let it go. Like, there's bigger fish to fry. She seemed like she feels pretty confident that Angel was just kind of being the nice guy.
I think so, too. And that goes into relationships and trust, right?
That's it.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they built that yet, but yes, you're right. That would be great.
Yeah. Cordelia states that they found multiple body parts in the dumpster, not just the hand, like multiple body parts. And then
another clue
mentions that there still wasn't enough parts to equal 3 full dead bodies. So whoever's doing this is keeping some of the parts. Cordelia's ready to go. She needs to bathe and burn her clothes. And she asks Angel to take her home. And Angel doesn't even get to answer. Cordelia cuts him off and just says, okay, great, I'll drive. And then like they go. Yeah. And Buffy's pissed. We do a quick cutaway now to see Chris's house.
Okay.
And his mom is in front of the TV. Yes. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Catatonic, wearing like a plaid house dress. Like that was more prevalent back then.
She's not looking good. She's chain smoking.
Yes.
She's tuned in to whatever she's watching on the TV.
Yeah. And it's just, he's like, okay, mom, I'm going out. Doesn't even acknowledge her son. She's just locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange. And then the next scene we get is creepy Chris.
God.
In some sort of building, we don't know where, standing over a gurney with a body on it, and he is singing.
Oh wait, we don't.
Wait, no?
We have one scene before that. Sorry.
Fuck me. I'm just gonna let you lead. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not you. It's me. I don't do scene by scene on here. I should.
No. Why? If I do it, you don't have to. So, but you'll lead into the lab. Okay, so we have that quick little cutaway to see Chris's house. We go back to the school where they've decided, Giles had Willow on the click clacks again, discovering the lockers of all the science nerds, because they've kind of come to the conclusion that who could be doing this? It's got to be the science nerds. And Giles is all hot and bothered about breaking into lockers, but was fine with digging up graves. Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
And
explain this to me.
They break into Chris's locker and they find Grey's Anatomy, then a bunch of other medical textbooks. And on the door of the locker is a collage of women's body parts. I'm like, y'all really gotta we get it, okay? Chris is the one.
Chris is it.
And here we go.
So we cut to Chris
and creepy Eric
in some sort of an unidentified building. They're hovering over a body on a gurney that's covered up, and he's singing "My Girl."
It's Chris's facial hair makes me uncomfortable.
It's sick. It's like, okay, sick. You're singing "My Girl" over literally 3 corpses of women put together.
That's fine.
Fun. Okay, cool. Weird.
That's fine. And so we go back to the high school and we run into Giles looking all nervous and giddy. And we think it's the moment he's going to ask Jenny on the date. Buffy says, she's a techno-pagan. Ask her to bless your laptop.
Ask her to bless your laptop.
Love
that
it.
was such a sweet scene.
So cute.
And you could see the wheels turning in Giles' head. He's like, oh, that's actually a really good opener.
Anyway, we see Miss Calendar. Her hair has been styled a little bit better since last episode.
We do.
Her outfit is horrific. This was almost my nay, but Angel's beige, it was too much.
Yep.
Took the cake.
School bell has rung. All the students are rushing to class, and so is Jenny C.
She's like, I can't talk now. Gotta go.
But Giles is like, this is his moment. He's been trying to ask her out. And she's like, hey, gotta go, gotta get in the class. And so he gets in the class. She goes to the classroom, shuts the door.
Some adults trying to take their responsibilities seriously.
Poor Giles. He looks so defeated. He's like, oh, damn it. I missed my window. As he turns around, the door opens up again.
Right, Ryan.
Yes.
We do love a Jenny Giles moment.
We do. This is a good one.
I think we should do it.
Let's do it. Black Box Theater.
Cue the music. On today's edition of Vampire Black Box Theater, the role of Rupert Giles will be played by Ryan something, and the role of Jennifer Calendar will be played by me, Jen Katz. Scene: hallway of Sunnydale High School. Giles is trying to ask Jenny on a date. Good morning, Rupert.
Miss Calendar.
No, please call me Jenny. Miss Calendar's my father.
Jenny, then. Would it appear indecorous? No, not in this indecorous.
Yeah.
Well,
Rupert, look, I've got to get inside and set up the lab.
What I'm proposing is
the bell rings. I gotta go. Sorry.
You idiot.
Hey, listen, if it's important, why don't you just tell me at the game?
Game? You're going to the football game?
Yeah, you seem surprised.
No. I just assumed that you spent your evenings downloading incantations and casting bones.
On game night? Are you nuts? You're going too, right?
Of course. Always do.
So we should just go together. Look, I could pick you up after school. We'll grab a bite to eat on the way if you like. How do you feel about Mexican?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Okay. And whatever it is you want to tell me, you can just tell me then. Okay?
Okay. Tonight then. Jenny smiles and goes back into her classroom. Giles to himself. That went well, I think.
Scene. So we cut to the science lab and Willow and Xander are messing around, and Giles basically says that they found 3 heads in the dumpster,
right,
which indicates that those heads probably wouldn't work. So keep that in your back pocket. And we go back to I guess it's the lab. We find out it's in Chris's basement's house. Wait, sorry. It's in the basement of Chris's house. And kind of confirming what Giles just said in the previous scene, if they don't attach a head, they're going to lose the body.
Yeah. So
Chris is so creepy.
So we've got creepy Chris.
Mm-hmm.
We've got creepy camera boy.
Yeah.
And now we have a Frankenjock. Okay. We have Chris's brother.
I dated a few of those.
Daryl. Chris's brother, Daryl, who we see for the first time.
Who died climbing the Sunnydale mountain range.
Allegedly. In his, well, I guess he was buried in his letter jacket, but
yeah.
So he's in his letter jacket. You can tell he's been put together. And
yeah, he's all stitched.
Yeah. He's like, you promised that you were going to make me someone, a partner,
I wouldn't be alone.
So I wouldn't be alone.
Yeah. And they,
wild.
They established that
the makeup is bad.
Makeup's bad. Chris and Eric brought him back. And now they're creating a partner for him, a girlfriend.
Why not just bring back one young lady for him? Why do they have to bring back multiple?
So the person looks like him.
Okay, gotcha.
And no one alive would want to be with him.
Okay.
I don't know. But basically now they said you have to go kill somebody to get a head so we can attach the head to the body and I won't be alone. And I'm like, first of all, how old is this actor?
Yeah.
And where was he on January 6th?
That's a good question.
And you're right. Well, they decide Cordelia is going to be the one. They're going to cut off Cordelia's head.
Yeah, they're looking through the pictures, and he's like, her.
And creepy Eric goes, man of good taste.
So gross.
So gross. And we go back to the library. We've got Willow. They're doing research about how they're going to keep the heads, how they keep the body in good condition.
Right.
And they figure out formaldehyde is being used. Honestly, I don't know what they're talking about because all I heard was Giles.
Just like, formaldehyde. Yes. Yes.
And I lost my mind.
Let's play it.
I had to make a button.
Yes.
I could listen to that on repeat all day.
And she will.
And I will.
After this recording is over.
When I have my private alone time, I sure will. So they figured out that they need a fresh head.
Yeah.
And then Giles is like, if I had a nickel.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So Giles is like, hey, you guys, I have to go on a date with Jennifer Calendar.
Would love to finish this, but got someplace I gotta be. And Buffy's like, yeah, go.
Which is nice because when Buffy in season 1 wanted to go on a date with Owen, Giles was like, you're not taking this seriously.
No, Buffy's jumping at the opportunity to take the lead, be the boss, run the show.
She's doing great.
It's a total role reversal. Giles is taking back seat.
Yep.
In most of this episode, it's just he's become the kid. He's just the bumbling teenager.
I'd like to see his backseat.
Yes.
I'm sick. I need help.
Yes. Yes.
We're leaving that in. Okay. Anywho, so we cut to Buffy. Buffy goes to Chris's house.
Yeah.
The mom is still in front of the TV. Turns out she's watching game footage of Daryl when he played.
Right.
football.
She's still watching the footage of Daryl.
She needs some therapy. And
don't we all?
We cut to the locker room before the football game. Cordelia is grabbed by Chris and Eric.
Yes.
Buffy comes in because when she's at Chris's house, she figures it out that they're going to get Cordelia. She saves Cordelia.
Yeah. Jumps in. Cordelia's like, oh my God, I got to get back to the game. I'm the apex
of the pyramid.
Of the pyramid, of course.
Okay, Cordy. She goes back, she goes to the game and
Buffy has a one-on-one with Chris.
She's like, yo, bro.
I know you're here. Come out. Let's talk about this.
Let's talk about this. And she thinks, because Chris basically says, I promised him he wouldn't be alone.
Yeah.
Promised him he could have somebody. And Buffy's like, he doesn't need somebody. He needs industrial strength therapy. Cue our new button.
He needs industrial strength therapy.
Which was me a minute ago talking about Giles' backseat. So she realizes, though, it's not Eric, it's Daryl. And she's like, what the fuck is going on? It's so cute. And I know we're like, this episode's going on longer than we wanted it to because it's the weird zombie one. But the football game, there's just a cute moment with Jenny and Giles.
It is cute. She's
talking about how much she loves the ruggedness of American football. And Giles is ribbing her like, if you're so tough, why do you need to be, wearing pads and helmets? Like, blah, 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 British.
It's a great little date.
They're so cute.
They are cute.
And then
Xander and Willow show up.
And they block the date.
Cordelia takes a break to get a drink of water during the game. And she gets jumped by Daryl.
Yep. Daryl. And then we immediately cut to the table in a lab. This is a new lab, which we discovered. It's in an abandoned warehouse. And Daryl, apologizes to her and says, you were always good to me, but I ignored you and I'm sorry. And she's just screaming. And he says, no one can hear you scream.
Daryl and Creepy Eric have her tied to the table. They're going to behead her. They're going to transfer her head to the body of the other 3 female corpses that have been dug up.
They stitched together.
School. And things get really kind of fast and furious at this point with the rest of the episode. So
here we go.
There is the damsel in distress, which is Cordelia. She is literally tied to the table like she's tied to a set of railroad tracks. And we see what's coming. We see the train. It's like, oh God, is she going to get rescued in time? Well,
she does.
In walks Buffy.
Bah!
Get your hands off, my friend.
Yes. She kicks his January 6th looking ass.
She starts kicking ass. Things go berserk during this fight scene. There are gurneys rolling. There are fires starting.
There's a massive thing of gasoline. I guess they're gonna burn the rest of Cordelia's body.
There is a lot happening in this scene, and it happening very quickly.
It is. And so there's a fire. Xander and Cordelia are stuck behind it, but Xander pushes her on the gurney. And then Daryl decides he's gonna go lay on the burning body of the stitched together corpse, and he says, that's my girl.
And so he basically goes up in smoke with the corpses. Monster of the week solved. Done. Nothing to see here. My question is,
where was Angel? Because that was my question.
Because Buffy, Xander, Willow, Cordelia, obviously she was there because she was kidnapped. And then Jenny and Giles show up. How do they all know what's going on and that it's in this place? Did they get like a text?
Holy shit.
How did they get from the football game?
Chris told Buffy, because she says that Buffy, she's like, your brother told me where you were.
Great. I missed that.
Okay.
Great.
But it's kind of a throwaway. So we cut to outside of the warehouse and everybody's kind of patching each other up.
They've burned this warehouse down, by the way. So this is the second building that Buffy's burned. It may not have been a school building, but it's the second building that she's burned down.
It's fine.
It's fine. It was mice. Smoking mice.
Oh yeah. It's mice who smoke. I can't wait. Oh, we're going to talk about school hard next. So Angel shows up, and again, where were you, sir? And
where was he?
I can't. But Xander and Willow have a great moment where they're talking, and Cordelia comes up to Xander and says,
he was closing paperwork on a car.
Oh, that's right. You can't walk away when a deal is being done.
I had to wait until they took delivery.
That Angel's Autos.
Angel's
Come
Autos
on down.
in Sunnydale, California.
Open every day after sundown. So Willow and Xander are having a moment.
Doing an Angel's Auto commercial for social media.
We absolutely have to. Cordelia comes up and she's like, Xander, she's being sincere. I just want to thank you for saving my life. And Xander cuts her off and says, do you mind we're talking here? And the Charisma Carpenter's face. We have to put the image. She's just
best part of the episode.
She walks away. And we end the episode with Buffy and Angel in the graveyard. They're walking and talking, and they apologize for their previous little nonsense. And Buffy says, love makes you wacky.
I love that line.
I do too, because it's true. And Angel says he is jealous of Xander because he gets to be there when I can't. He gets to see you in the sunlight. And Buffy says, I don't look that good in direct light, which Liza Minnelli. But it's so sweet. And she says, I can walk you home. And they hold hands. and they walk off.
Okay.
So that was
the end of this episode.
Some assembly required, or as we like to call it, zombies.
I love the ending scene between Angel and Buffy.
So good.
They are finally kind of in a place where they understand one another. They're feeling good about one another. And, you know, him opening up to her about, hey, you know, I am a little bit jealous because this guy gets to spend so much time with you.
Right.
He gets to see you during the day. He gets to go to class with you. He gets to have lunch with you. It's just a sweet moment. She's like, hey, you know, I think you're pretty special too. And let me walk you home. It's cute. It's cute.
Sweet. And that's one of the things I will say. Angel and Buffy, as you all know, not my favorite relationship, but they do have, especially in these earlier seasons, some really sweet moments.
This is one of the few sweet moments that they have, that they share.
I don't have a lot to say about this episode other than I really like that scene. I really like seeing Jenny and Giles' relationship blossom. I like seeing Cordelia be a part of the Scoobies. The fashion was great.
Well, what's your steak rating?
Someone put a steak in me.
We're going to find out who that is next episode, and I'm excited. Okay, my steak rating for this episode, I'm going to give it a 3. A 3.
Wow.
I really like the things that we just discussed, but the monster of the week is it's weak. I don't like zombies. It just kind of falls apart. It's season 2. We see Buffy become Buffy. And I mean that in the show, not the character, the strengths, the world building, the continuity. And this feels more in tune with season 1 with the monster of the week. Like, I mean, I wish, not to spoil anything, I almost wish next week's episode was here instead of this one. There's some filler in season 2, not as much as season 1, but this to me is like, we didn't need it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And that's why I'm going to give it a 3 because what's good is good, but what's bad is not so great. What about you? What do you
got? You took the steak right out of my heart.
We both gave it a 3?
I gave it a 3 out of 5 steaks. I love that. I was borderline into the 2s.
Yeah.
But for all the reasons that you mentioned, which I loved the reappearance of these characters and Cordelia joining the Scooby Gang.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so good.
They all look great fashion wise. There's like 2 outfits that were like, no. Angels.
Looking at you, beige jacket, Angels autos.
Yeah. Terrible. But for so many other reasons, including the character development of this show, I just really think that it was great. The bad parts were bad. The second half, when we are introduced to Frank and Jock, Daryl, it's just I don't know, it's just not believable for me. I'm not buying it. I'm not enjoying it.
And that was bad.
The weird science between the 2 friends that are trying to create this gal, not for themselves, but for the dead brother. I don't know. There's just a lot to unpack there, and I kind of feel like they just fumbled the ball with this character.
What you did there.
Anyway, I just didn't like it, but I did love the Giles and Jenny. Go her for making the first move and just being like, hey, want to go on a date? Let's go have Mexican.
How do you feel about Mexican?
And I'll see you there. And she calls it a date. And then she asks him out on a second date. And I like that. I like how she is with him. I like their dynamic. And I like seeing the other side of Giles, where he's just kind of a little whimpering, you know, he's not so strong and like in charge anymore. Like he's lost. And
I love it.
And I like that.
I do too.
So,
it's good.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
3s across the board.
3s across the board.
Woo. All right.
Glad this episode's over.
Me too. Okay. Thank you for tuning in to Once More. Stay tuned for a brief spoiler section after the outro music. Once More is produced by us, Jen Katz and Ryan Something, and our original cover art is by Dr. Courtney McKenzie. Shout out Dr. McKenzie.
Be sure to follow us, like and subscribe, and give us rates and reviews on all of the social media apps and your favorite podcast streaming services. You can find us at Once More Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube. And you can find us the Once More Pod on X.
You sure can. We're there sometimes.
Well, Jenny.
All right.
Hey.
Thank you again for tuning in to Once More. See you next Friday for episode 3 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer season 2. School hard. We're gonna meet somebody who I'm kind of unhinged about. But be sure to check out our side piece podcast, Unhinged. Episodes come out every Wednesday.
I'm Ryan Something.
And I'm Jen Katz. And remember, I'm an old-fashioned gal. I was raised to believe men dig up the corpses and the women have the babies. Bye.
Ciao.
Let's go get Mexican. Spoilers. Brief.
Yeah. Hey, we got
Okay.
some coming.
Okay. This was just a small one. It's small foreshadowing when Buffy falls into the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Season 5, Buffy dies.
Ah.
So it just kind of made me think we're going to get to that point in season 5 where Buffy dies. Again. Okay. The other one, again, this is not so much spoiler as foreshadowing. We get to see Xander and Cordelia start their little, like they nitpick at each other a lot. And then it's like,
is there something coming?
Fighty, kiss. We're going to get to that. And
love fighty, kiss.
Yes, they are going to, is it this season? See, can't remember when in production. They're going to have a relationship.
Cool.
Yeah. And it's interesting.
I think they had a moment last episode. They've got their moments in this episode.
They're going to
have another one next episode.
They sure are.
So they're building this up. I like it.
I do too. I like it. You know, I don't like it when Willow and Xander finally get together. I like Xander and Cordelia together.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Okay. Thanks
for tuning in.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. That's actually good.